Hello again, everybody. Harry Box with the Technical Trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Thursday night, January the 19th, and these are the charts of the day. Let's take a look at the indices. Kind of at a critical time, it looks like. If you see the major channel here on the NASDAQ 100, we've had multiple waves up. We're at the top of this long, big channel. It's gone back all the way from the lows at the beginning of November. And in multiple waves, let's call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is an area where we could conceivably see some sort of topic pattern or pullback action or retesting. The key support right now comes in at about 50245. That's on the NASDAQ 100. And then beneath that around the 489.95 area. These are levels to watch carefully. The S&P 500 looks a little like this. A large diamond formation or consolidation zone with declining tops, and here's some rising bottoms in here. So some sort, and declining tops there. So the formation of a large wedge over a period of last week and a half or so could be meaningful either way. A move under 2285 in my opinion gets us down here. A move over the 2279.80 area could spell a wave, another big wave up into the near 2300 range. We'll just have to see what we get. Right now, it's a little dangerous looking. Look at the day's pattern today. We gapped up, we pulled back, 3-wave corrective, and then wave 4. Or the beginning of a bounce. I think the key is going to be tomorrow morning to watch 50-40 and then 50-30. On the S&P 500, obviously, the levels to watch are at 2258. And over here about 2254. Keep your eye on those levels tomorrow. Now, chart-wise, the aluminum stocks were strong today. Alcoa, which had run up and then moved back and forth in a, let's call it a 4-point range, as a level 2 consolidation, level 1 and 2. Here's wave 3. Should I say wave 2, not level 2. The measure move there gets us up around 40, 39.40 range on Alcoa. On CENX, you can see they were strong move, but with resistance around 15 and a target, that's what I would look for short term. And then we'll see what happens beyond that. Secondary target is 20. AKAO breaking out and moving up. The highest level ever reached was right after the IPO at about 1969. It's going to be my target for tomorrow, up around there. On the daily chart, you'll see it's been moving steadily since it broke out of the wedge here for about 2 weeks now. Pretty good technicals. I like the way it's acting. Looking for a test at a 19.5, 20 zone as early as tomorrow. Cannabis stocks were in the forefront. Now CBDS did spike up overnight to 9.5. Did not close very well. And with 711,000 shares, the biggest volume since the spike here, this could very well be the end of this wave. But the way I've drawn it, and with momentum here, it wouldn't shock me if this thing made it up towards the $11 range short term, perhaps in the next day or two. CHKP swing did great today. When it popped out, we gave you a buy on it. It subsequently run from 87 to 90, almost 98 today. So a really good move, and it met both of my swing trade targets. Next target, however, could be 105-ish, 104.5, 105. Let's look to see if we get a consolidation, whether the gap holds, and whether it holds that zone there before moving up further, or whether it just goes straight up and goes ballistic. 9.2 days to cover. The shorts are cooked. Railroad stocks came to the forefront today with several factors, including I think it was the Union Pacific guy resigning and talking about moving to CSX. Well, anyway, CSX benefited with a huge move, 863 at 23.4%, and a whopping 98.5 million shares. Never traded like that ever in its history. And we've been watching this stock since the inverse head and shoulder broke out there, wedged there, went up to resistance and wedged again. This could be a blow-off, or it could be at least a temporary lull, but I would not be shocked to see it run 49.50 short term. Be careful up here though. 3D Systems on the move, but the pop pullback and then another surge. I'm looking for a test of 18.5 and 19.75. 10 days to cover on this one. We could get a ride on it. South American paper products company Fibria, FBR, broke out of a trading range today. And with a gap and 2.1 million shares, jumping for almost 5%. I would now look for the stock to make a run at the $11 range. secondary target 13. Nice move on Finisar today. You can see the falling channel, the pop out on big volume of 6 million, jumping 207 or almost 7.2%. A nice close near the upper end of the range. If it follows through, look for a test of the 32.5 and 33.25 range. But eventually we may very well see it run up near 37 and eventually 42. Obviously your stop would be under 28. Thinly traded GRBOI has just gone ballistic. Look at this daily chart. From 3 in May, and from as recently October trading at 4.5. The stock rocketed to 22 today, 22.69, and reached my trading target zone. So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then maybe we got some pullback consolidation in this zone. Longer term, you can see that the all-time highs coming in way up there around 100 would not be a reasonable target, but 30 might be. Or at least that 29 range, 29, 29.5. So that's what I'm going to be looking for going forward on this puppy, but it is very thin. You may even get that tomorrow. Everything depends on what kind of spike up we get. NBLY put a swing on it today. I like the pop and break out across resistance, but it didn't close well. Got all the way up to 44.71, finished 43.34 near the low end of the range. However, still up $1.32, more than 3%, and more than 5 million, or around 5 million shares. So I like that. But I'm going to be watching today's high at 44.70 to see if we can get through that and run to 47 and then 51. Those are my targets for the swing. MIME doing well and extending its move. You can see today it popped 74 cents, 3.5%. MIME picked up to the best volume 2 months. A good sign that it may want to run up and test the 24.5 range. Ultimately though, I have 28 and 33, 34 targets. MNTX continues after breaking out, is rocketing straight up and probably will hit 10 short term. That's kind of a double top key resistance up there, so I wouldn't chase this one. I'd wait to see if it pulls back, consolidates like it did there to set up wave 5. Here's 1 and 2 and here's 3. Let's get a wave 4 before we get excited about moving up to 11 or 12. NVIDIA 221 higher today. It may have come out of the wedge we were looking at. Key's going to be, can it take out 109 range and run up to 120? If we get through that level, 120, 121 or something of that nature, looking at $135, $38 stock. The key support, the double bottom at 99, that would be a stock takeout for me. OCLR, nice spike back. Breakaway gap, good earnings, up $1.35 for 16.6%. Solid volume of 26.5 million. I don't think it's ever traded that before, and it hasn't even broken out yet. It broke out of the wedge and across the moving averages. And when you see that in that kind of volume, the next thing I'd look for is a run through 10, 10.25, and then 11, 12, and 13 are potential targets going forward. Shipping stock, Scorpio Bulkers. Not normally liking this group, but this stock in particular intrigues me chart-wise. You can see the base, the breakout, the flag, held the moving averages twice here at the 50. Popped, wedged, broke out, extended. The last 2 days, great volume. The target's $10. There's 5.2 days to cover. Shopify, moving steadily since our swing trade recommendation. I'm looking for 55 and then 62. Not sure how quickly we get that, but nice action. Tal Educational, great long-term chart, flagging recently above the 50. Today breakaway gap and run up to test resistance at about the 80.5 range, getting to 80.65 today. Good close near the upper end of the range. I wouldn't be surprised to see us test 84 as early as tomorrow, and ultimately something in the mid to high 90s is a possibility. Nearly 10 days to cover, you could get a squeeze here. Teledoc, with a gap and a pop, closed up $1.40 or 8.2%. Mine was the biggest I've seen in a long time, going back to the IPO day of 4.8 million. Good stuff. But quadruple top up here, and it backed off of it today at 1930. Let's get through 19.5, and we could see targets of 22, 24.5 are on the agenda. 27.6 days to cover. Are you kidding me? This could be interesting. And lastly tonight is Wix. I've been following it for a year, and I can't believe I've never recommended it. I'm not recommending it per se, but I do want to note that this is a breakout day with increasing volume. Mid-channel target is 60, upper target mid-70s. Let's take a look at some box of shorts tonight because there's a A market that I think is very vulnerable to a rollover. Let's see what looks intriguing. Ambarella, a recent box of short, is coming down and coming down good. It's dropped from 58 to 48 in the last week and a half. Right now, it's on lateral resistance at the support, at the double bottom. If this takes out 48 and a half, 3/4, and it's right there, we should see 45. We may see a gap fill at 43. We may see a spike down near 40. ATR. Looks like it's rolling over. There's a big wedge in here and it's about to crack, it looks like. Stay tuned. Carters. I want to show you a massive top formation that is formed in here. This line going across here, it's right on it. If it breaks this level, it could fall away and maybe get down near 74.5. That could be interesting. It's at 83 and change now. Retailers are looking terrible. Look at Dillard's, you can see it's on some key support here, but look at this. Having come down from 145 to 56 and not being able to rally, this may very well need to see 39.40 before it's over. Dollar General is no exception, although it isn't quite as negative looking right now. You can see that this big breakdown and wedge here and declining tops line right there, fall away from that level. If it takes that area out, you could see a quick test of 66. Eventually, 58.60 is a possibility for sure. Big sporting goods rolled over and took out support today. I think we're headed for at least 48 and likely 43, 44 range. Another retailer's Dollar Tree. Not looking good, folks. Massive top, perhaps. If you get, this is the key level to watch. Multiple times in the last year, it's gotten down to 72.5. If we break that, we're looking at 64 or less. GIII. That's the tuxedo manufacturer. Having dropped from the high 60s all the way down to 25, and yet stepping back and looking at a 2-day chart, it doesn't look much prettier here. This could very well see low 20s before it's over, if not even high teens. Builder LGIH is starting to hurt. Housing numbers weren't great today. This broke a rising wedge right to the trend line and backed off to $1.95, 6%. Watch the multiple lows here at about 28, 8.25. We take that out, we're looking at a run down towards 24. And HTC looking like this is about to complete and maybe drop away. I would look for something right now that could maybe test that zone right about there, which means a drop into the 16, 17 range. Ralph Lauren, another apparel manufacturer that's breaking. And any move underneath the 81, 82 zone could get us near 70 or worse. Red Robin GB broke down, snapped back, could be rolling over. Just not a good looking chart. Targeting 39. Signet Jewelers. Breakdown here. Minor support near the zone. My target eventually is in the low to mid 60s. STZ. Breakdown. Massive consolidation. If that breaks, we're looking at 130, maybe even 115.20. Technicals are deteriorating rapidly. The moving averages have crossed over and are rolling over. Stay tuned. Taro. After a massive top form, take a look. Stock broke down and formed a wedge. If this thing drops where I think it can, we should get to 80. We may get a lot worse than that. Under Armour, yet another apparel company, looks like it's about to break hard. The next target is 23.4. Lastly tonight is Urban Outfitters. No picnic here. Been in a falling channel for 2 months, and with support just beneath here in the 25 range. Any move underneath that, and we're looking at 20. Well, that's the dire picture on the short side, as well as some of the promising looking stuff on the long side. For now, this is HB out.